Home buyer education, Section 7. From contract to closing, arranging services and legal documentation. Time reference date for inspections and repairs. Oklahoma real estate contracts include a time reference date. Appraisals protect the lender by ensuring property is worth what you're borrowing. Appraiser is chosen and scheduled by the lender. Appraised value is based primarily on objective criteria. Full appraisal. Appraiser must provide a comparison of at least 3 recently sold properties, similar in size, age, and type to the property being appraised. Finding an inspector. A real estate professional can often direct you to local inspectors. What to expect from the home inspection. It's always good to meet the inspector and go through the house with him or her, if your house is in the right age category. If you cannot attend inspection, go over the written report on the cover. When you call to arrange the inspection, ask what they will cover. What to expect of the home inspection. If the serious problems represents major expenses, you may want to cancel the sale. If you have contingency to cover inspection expenses, the buyer should arrange repairs. You may go ahead with the sale regardless of the inspection. An inspector should check structure and mechanical systems. Structure, foundation, roof and ceilings, doors and windows. Mechanical systems, plumbing, electrical, heating and air conditioning, insulation and ventilation, water and septic or sewer system. Appliances included in the sale. Moisture, windows, sheetrock, and foundation. Inspection for termites is separate from the home inspection. It must be done by a licensed termite inspector. Cost is the buyer's and is usually included at closing. What to do with the results of the home inspection. If serious problems represent major expenses, you need to cancel. If you have contingency to cover inspection expenses, you may go ahead with the sale regardless of inspection. Energy efficiency ratings. Home energy can receive special treatment. If the house is not rated, consider an energy rating inspection if it will help your loan. Purchasing insurance, requirements and options. Homeowner insurance, required by your lender. You must provide verification of insurance prior to or at closing. Protects you from loss due to fire, theft, wind, and perils, not flooding. Covers you for liability. Covers the structure, interior, and personal property. Hazard insurance can be for full replacement or depreciated value of the loss. Note, AMERIN is an insurance product available to Native Americans with a CDIB card. Check with your tribal housing authority for additional information. Why you need insurance. No one can budget enough money in savings for major damage to property. Liability and medical insurance protects you in case someone is injured on your property. Cost of insurance. Deductible, construction materials, distance to fire hydrants and to fire department. Rating of fire department. Location in the world. Optional insurance. Isn't required because the lender isn't covered. Title insurance for the owner. Mortgage disability, mortgage life, home service contract. Getting ready to close the deal. Setting the closing. The tentative date for the closing is part of the purchase contract. The buyer has the right to choose where to close. Title search must be complete and title must be cleared. All inspections and repairs or adjustments must be made, or money to complete them must be escrowed. Buyer must have satisfied any requirements of the lender. Buyer must have proof of homeowners and hazard insurance. Do a final walkthrough. Make sure the property is still in the same condition as when you made your offer. Make sure any repairs have been made. When you complete your loan application, advise the lender you want to receive your HUD-1 settlement statement at least 24 hours prior to closing. It tells you how much money you need to bring to closing, if any. You should compare the HUD-1 to the good faith estimate you received. You should confirm the form of ownership with settlement agent, as this affects the deed. Sole ownership, joint tenancy with right of survivorship, tenancy in common. The closing is the meeting between the seller, buyer, and/or representatives to complete the deal. Closing is not an informational or negotiating meeting. Make sure you know everything you want to know before closing. Appropriate questions at closing should relate to the documents that you are signing. Any changes in the amounts from the settlement statement you received in advance of the closing and the statement at closing should be challenged. When you know the closing and move-in dates. Determine what companies provide utilities and services. Contact the utility services, put in your name, and have started on your move-in date. If you were unable to go through the house with a home inspector, get info on the main controls. Closing day. Be prepared. Closing documents, the mortgage, the deed, title insurance, abstract of title or title report, survey. Valid reasons for canceling a sale contract. Inspections and reviews are unsatisfactory. The seller cannot provide a clear title. The seller breaches the closing. The property is appraised for less than the purchase price. The loan terms are unacceptable. A buyer with a conditional approval is unable to secure final financing. The seller must be notified of the reason, in writing, within time limits set in the contract. When the contract is canceled for these reasons, earnest money is generally returned. When a sale contract is breached for invalid reasons, there may be serious consequences.